Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unschooling Lifestyle. Here is a short video about how to choose curriculum. I see that a lot of the questions are what is the best curriculum for my child grade X, Y, or Z? And this is probably something I wish I would have had back in 2020. That would have saved me a lot of money. And the answer to what is the best curriculum, the answer is none. There's really not a best curriculum, but what you do have is the ability to work from within rather than choose a curriculum to fit your family. You are working from inside out, working from your family and using what you know about your family to find the best fit for you right now. So, a few things that I would look at curriculum is this short term, your homeschooling journey, short term or long term? These two pieces will probably guide you in a different direction. If it's long term, I would probably take, and if this is your first year, take some time off, take time to the school. That is huge. If it's short term, you want to know what your next step is. It school? Which one? And what do they need? So, and what do they need? So this is kind of keeping track with the school, kind of keeping in connection with the place that you are going to reintegrate, so you don't lose the flow and your child doesn't lose the flow. If it's long term and you take time to the school, something to keep in mind is, where are you? What state do you live in? Don't mind my writing because it's terrible, but I still just wanted to share this in this way. For example, I live in the state of Michigan, so my regulations are a little bit different than the ones from the state of North Carolina, the state of New York, and stuff like. So this is something to keep in mind. And then once you kind of have a clear view of the regulations and a little bit about your journey, then you want to take into consideration your child and yourself too. This is a big mistake, not a mistake, but rather something that I didn't take into consideration because I thought about me. I am a book learner, I'm a visual learner, but I love books. Books have always been a big part of my journey. And both my children are very, very hands on. So, by taking into consideration, so here it is, how you learn. So, how you learn will be different than how your child learns. So this is like really, really, this is your big piece right here that is super, super different. So here, let's just recap. So from your curriculum, if it's short-term homeschooling journey or long-term homeschooling journey, that will be a big piece of how you make your decisions. If it's long-term, don't worry about it. Take time to de-school, learn about your rhythm, what it's like to be together again. And if it's a short term, keep the conversation open with the school that you're going to reintegrate in, and make the transition as seamless as possible for your child, who basically, our children are the ones doing the work per se, going from one environment to the other. So we want to make it easy for them to reintegrate. So those two pieces will kind of carry you a long way into choosing the curriculum that works for you and not the other way around. You don't want to make yourself fit into someone else's definition of learning. And here is where that comes to, like, time to de-school. So you're looking at, what is education for you? What is education? You know, what are your expectations? Expectations. So there's a lot of pieces there that, as you take time to de-school, they kind of come up, especially if you're leaving the system in a rush, if there's something that pushed you out of the system and you kind of weren't ready. So there's a lot of things that will come up. So deschooling is essentially a very, very important step in the transition into home education. And obviously your regulations, even though like um, homeschooling is legal in every state. Every state it works different, and they have different parameters, and the laws continue to change. So keeping a little bit, keeping updated with that, and just keeping an eye on that will definitely be of very useful for you and your family in the long term. So lots to think about, but the short answer, there is really not a best curriculum. None of them work the way they say they will. It's like, you know how in food they show you like the cereal, and it's like if you start looking into it, the cereal, the milk, it's actually glue in the commercial. Homeschool curriculum is a little bit like that, in the sense of they say all these things that they will do for you. In reality, it's not necessarily, it doesn't always work like that. um, yeah. So if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. I love to answer them. We've been at this journey since 2020. We were kind of pushed into it, and we quickly switched over to unschooling. Take time to choose what works for you, and use what the information that you have about your family to find the curriculum that works for you, and not make your family fit around the curriculum that other people say is best or that has worked for them. It's all different. So, anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day and take care. Bye.